But you remember that our focus today has to do with the Day of Persons with Disabilities. And we have an honored guest with us here this morning, STORY-WANDA.
Morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
No, very fine. It was fine.
Have you been here throughout this year?
Just once.
This year?
Once.
Oh. How has 2024 been? We know this question has started. It's already December. How was 2024 for you?
Actually, 2024 is a very good year because at least have some successes, some achievements.
Yeah.
And when you are strong, when God gives you the strength and some achievement, you have to first of all thank Him and praise Him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the achievements?
Actually, today I can say I am a proud landlord. Live in my own house.
Proud landlord.
Live in my own house.
Wow, congratulations.
Tenant to landlord. With a young baby in the hand also.
Yes. Added to how many already?
The third.
The third baby. STORY-WANDA is busy.
Thank God for that.
Yes. Okay, congratulations to you and your lovely wife.
Thank you.
People know STORY-WANDA as an artist, but they don't know you as a teacher.
Actually,
yes,
it is true.
Tell us about that side of you. What drew you to the teaching profession?
Actually, around the 2013, after discovering that many persons with disability were being marginalized, discriminated in society, I went in for special education where I was not admitted. Conditions that I must have a degree in science of education, which I didn't have then, or I must have a teacher's grade 1 certificate. So, you know, we looking for the shortest way. I went in for the teacher's grade 1 certificate. From there, I went in for special education, where I come with a diploma in the special needs inclusive education. Okay. Because I saw how we were marginalized. In those days, the Bamenda were giving them like the chinkirus, taxis were even free to carry us. So at that would take time to climb the taxi, break a taxi. But those with wheelchair, with tricycles, they were over denied. So this prompted me to go in for special education, which I have to pass through teachers training. So I become a teacher and also an advocate for persons living with disabilities.
Let's talk about your story for people who are not conscious of it. How did you become this way?
In fact, I was not born like this, but being what I am happy and I thank God. I worked for 9 years like you, played, went to school, but after a sudden, I had some abscesses. That took me down for more than 2 years, that I could not stand. I could only change my position by the help of my mother or a family. They would carry me, watch, keep on the seat, where I would eat on that same seat, defecate on that same seat, urinate on that same seat. Pus was coming out, all my legs. So I was taken to St. John Hospital, Bachibo, Bingo, many hospitals, no solution. I was brought back home and abandoned, thinking I was going to die. But God says it's not your time. So I keep on struggling. After 2 years again, after they have struggled and abandoned, I should die. There was even a time that a man of God came. Don't know, this fake man of God passed by, was called. She came and said I was a bad child who came to squander my parents' money.
Blamed you?
Yes, who came to squander my parents' money. Gave me 3 days after a series of prayers that I was going to go back to where I came from.
Wow.
So, God, who is the Supreme, said no. My mother would sleep and touch my chest. I was breathing. The first day, the second, the third, I did not die. They have to carry me back again to Bingo, where I spent another 8 months. There, I don't know, bones came out like this. They were bones. So, I don't know what happened. So they have a good series of operation. They cut the veins, cut the legs already like this. They have to stretch it and cut some of the veins and put a plaster of Paris. So finally, I ended up being what I am today. I walk with my buttocks. I crawl like this to school at the primary because I had a tricycle and a wheelchair. with the topography of my area where I come from, Bachibo, I was unable to move with the tricycle easily. The crutches, I was always falling. So I prefer using my buttocks. But gradually, I got off from my buttocks like a child again, managed with the crutches, from two to one. From one, I walked with a stick. I was beating and lifting like a frog. From there, I dropped the stick. I was able to walk and support my leg like this, like this. I remove my hands where I am like this. Thank God.
Wow. This is amazing to see. That's the resilience you showed throughout your journey. When someone had declared you death. You know, they told you that you're going to die.
Yes.
And family members were waiting to see the prophecy happen, but then it was fake.
Patience.
Because you're here with us.
I even preferred death then than life because the pain I was going through, I was happy to die.
And the thing is, you didn't even know what was happening to you.
Don't know.
Till date, no one has been able to explain.
They say it was poison, that was kept, the medicine, you know how they say medicine?
Yeah.
I crossed, but being innocent, I don't know. Was it for me? Was it for somebody? I cannot judge, but no, God alone knows.
But then, you being a child going to school, it must have been very hard for you with the way people related with you.
Actually, even the moment.
Tell us about some of those experiences so they should be ashamed when you watch.
Even till now, when I started, people insulted. The people would ask my mother, why are you moving with this type of a child? These children are supposed to be locked up in the house. Yeah, I'm moving with this type of child. My father said, it is in my blood. I love who he is because I knew he was going to die, but he's alive. I love. So everything now, even when we go attack for this music, the people will insult. Them is handicapé aussi, viens faire quoi ici. But I am always proud because being disabled and who I am proud because if I am living, it's by the grace of God. And if I am disabled, God loves me and loves the state at which I am.
And you are blessing us with great music we're going to talk about in a bit. But first off, I want you having lived like this for a long while, what are some of the accommodations we can make in the community to make life easy for people with disabilities?
Thank you for that question. I will be going back a bit to the theme of this year's celebration, which is amplifying the leadership of persons with disability for an inclusive, sustainable, successful future. If the government is talking about the future, they begin to think also. Because when they talk of inclusion, it's on purpose. Without any fear, we say it, but we don't practice it. Because they say charity begins at home. And if we are to begin, where at this inclusive school, that they have to include this person with disability with person with ability, they are not there. Where are the assistive devices? Because people like us, we are not disabled. We are not disabled. Everybody is disabled in one way or the other. We are just positioned at least a special way.
You're differently able.
Yes. But people say we are not disabled. So, if they can help us with means of accessibilities, the first thing, when you move in town, you see public buildings that are to be used by everybody, but there are no ramps for persons with a disability to get to those buildings. Yeah. You see, right, even to ministries, it is a problem.
So that's one of the things you really want
that they should do.
What else would you want to see?
Two, recruitment.
Okay.
The text says, in every recruitment, 10% should be persons with disabilities. But when you look digitally, not even up to 2% is being recruited because they bear in mind that this person has nothing to give to the community, whereas we have more than enough to give, even more than those the feed are able. Because I believe somebody with a wheelchair when he enters an office and wants to work, he works because he will not love going out in and sit and work diligently. But because people have it in mind, that look at this person being disabled with one leg or without eyes, what can this person do? Somebody who is visually impaired, knows Braille, can walk without any problem.
Absolutely.
Somebody with hearing and speech impaired, who knows sign language, has no problem. But the problem now is you, who will not be able to work with that person. Why? Because you have completely excluded yourself from that person by doing what? One, by not studying sign language. After all, am I dumb? What am I doing with sign language? Two, You have completely denied to study Braille because you don't want to transcribe. Am I a visual impaired? Say, people will say put a non-voice. It's for those blind people. Those. Nobody has ever loved to be blind. But when God gives, you take. And in order for us to make our society inclusive, as the team says in the future, is to begin what? Social inclusion. Mean that all of us should move together, we sit together, love ourselves.
Without discrimination.
We are all made in the image of God. Yeah. Number two, we should be assisted to meet up with the normal person. Because I believe you went to school, I went to school. I live with my wife, you live with your husband. I live with my family, you live with your family. And we live together. We have to work together. We have to accept that we are children from one father who are supposed to live on this planet Earth and work together. And if we accept the inclusion, I think this world will be a better place.
You've said it all, and you say you're an advocate, so that's why you have such clarity of what is needed. But then you're also a singer, and within your music, you advocate.
Of course.
The song we're going to listen to today and watch is The Cry of Suffering. What can you say briefly before we watch the video?
The Cry of Suffering, if you watch that song, this is when I started advocating, because I discovered that I, as a disabled person, if you watch that song, I break stones to make money to go to school. Because when they spend much money, when I got where they had no money to send me to school, I have to work.
You have to work.
I break stones, concrete. I have work in the farm, I have say coffee, cocoa, I dry. I work at the washing point. I'm a professional shoe mender.
Wow, all of those things.
I was doing everything, struggle to earn a living. So I did many things, and it was just an example that we disabled persons should not always sit by the roadside to beg. Because when you don't have legs, at least the hands are there. We don't have the eyes, the ears are there.
Make use of what you have. Let's watch this video.
And when God takes one part from you, the ability of the other doubles.
Triples.
Thank you.
The Cry of Suffering by STORY-WANDA.
Until I saw someone with that test.
I have seen trouble, I have seen suffering, I have seen trouble, I have seen suffering. I have seen trouble, I have seen suffering, I have seen trouble, I have seen suffering. The kind of people you meet on your way up, because you might meet them on your way down. I have seen trouble, I have seen suffering, I have seen trouble, I have seen suffering. Trouble in this one, suffering in this one, trouble in this one, suffering in this one. Trouble in this one, suffering in this one, trouble in this one, suffering in this one. Ha ha ha. No matter how beautiful a coffin is, I will finally end in the grave. Oh yes, the cry of suffering. I walk on my legs for 9 years. I keep on my boots for 6 months. I walk on crutches for 5 years. Finally, I'm what I am today. I walk on my legs for 9 years. I creep on my boots for 6 months. I walk on crutches for 5 years. Finally, I'm what I am today. My brother, suffer past die. Mr. Enyon Henry, ahead. Gaspaning Nightclub, Arena Hotel, Bachibo. Establishment Jodisco International, alias Nangfang Motorcycle Supplier, Bachibo Town. If you can't have what you want, love what you have. Oh yes, yes, the cry of suffering. I am seeing trouble, I am seeing suffering, I am seeing trouble, I am seeing suffering. I am seeing trouble, I am seeing suffering, I am seeing trouble, I am seeing suffering.
Story-Wanda. I love the energy you're oozing this morning.
Thank you.
And you're talking about suffering, but you're showing hope at the same time. You are able to go through all of those things and still emerge.
Mama, disability is the state of the mind.
Yes.
When you accept, then you are defeated. Proof that who you are, you can do what so many things you cannot do. I am proud to be what I am.
We can see that.
I have a family called Dynamic Family that I will never forget because they always made me proud. There was a time somebody said a word of mockery. I saw the president was very, very angry because he believes that disability is not a crime. Disability is not inability.
I love that one particularly.
Disability remains in your mind. If you accept, just like somebody said, when you lost hope, you are gone. So we accept, and I would love to advise all my friends, my brothers who are disabled. Let's accept and work and prove to those who think they will challenge us that we will challenge them.
I love that. Please, let's give it up for Story-Wanda. You're imagining who are those clapping around me?
I am a teacher. I teach the visually impaired.
Yes.
The hearing and speech impaired, and I teach the regular, the normal children. That is the inclusion we want.
Exactly. That's what you said at the start, and we're proud of what you do. When I was coming in, I was like, who's this white woman who's come to see us? And I was like, Beatrice is blonde today. Beatrice, let's have the juicy.
Good morning. I hope everybody is doing very fine. Well, I don't know. I came today with, I don't know, an awareness, something of that sort. Because this is something that we all do. We all live, my parents usually tell me, you can never be too careful. You don't know. You can just be walking on the streets and you don't know. You can cause something to happen to yourself even without knowing. Yeah, and so today I saw a video online. It brought out the dangers of living with a dog. That touched me because personally I'm a dog lover.
Right, I have about 4.
Yes.
So I'm worried now.
No, you should just be careful. But anyway, let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what happens.
You're losing your limbs just because your dog licked you. Well, that's exactly what happened to Greg Manterfell. He was letting his dog lick him like we all do when suddenly days later he became very sick. When Greg first started noticing symptoms, he thought it was just the flu, fever chills, and some muscle aches. But within hours, things took a shocking turn. Dark bruises started appearing all over his body and he was rushed to the hospital. Greg's limbs began turning black as his body prioritized his vital organs, cutting off blood flow to his arms and legs to keep him alive. Doctors were stunned to see that his infection had spread so fast, causing severe tissue damage within hours. Doctors traced his condition to a rare bacterial infection called Cytocatophaga. This bacteria is actually common in dogs and cats' saliva, but it's super rare for it to affect humans like this. The bacteria entered his bloodstream and triggered sepsis, a life-threatening reaction where the body attacks itself. His blood pressure plummeted and circulation to his limbs cut off, and doctors had no choice but to amputate his legs and parts of his arms to save his life.
That's
Thank
scary.
you very much, Beatrice, for giving me nightmares.
No, that's scary. Trust me, I'm in the same shoes like you because I'm a dog lover, like I said. And we used to have dogs when I was growing up, and I used to let them lick me. Yes, because they would like to play. What was really good about our dogs is that we had them vaccinated, but I don't think that cancels out what we just saw.
Yeah, but you never know. Maybe the dog could have some other infection other than that which you vaccinated them for.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
they say in dog world that when a dog licks you, it's their way of telling you that they love you.
They love you.
But personally, I don't like it. And I feel bad for people who let the dogs kiss them. Because
No,
their
that's
tongues
worse.
will be amputated.
No.
I don't know what's going to happen
That's
there.
worse. That's exactly worse. But
That's a sad story.
yeah, but we should not stop having them. Trust me, I'm still going to have a dog one day when I get my own place, but we just need to be careful. And I think it goes all for all the animals, even cats, not just dogs.
Oh, yeah, even cats. Okay.
We just need to be careful with how we organize our environment when we have certain things around.
Thank you, Beatrice, for frightening me this morning. Anyway, our question of the day, we'll rapidly take it. Hopefully you have your little experiences. Have you ever had a bad experience with a guest in your home or as a guest in someone else's home? We get this message from Anya Titus. Good morning. Most embarrassing moments when I was visiting the person wasn't available and the entire house made me feel invisible. I had to leave. That's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
Beatrice, any experience?
Yeah, I also have an embarrassing one. I was really young and we had a guest. I think that was, for as long as I can remember, that was the first person who came to stay in our house for like some days. So in the morning, I just rushed into the toilet and I met him there. But I quickly shut the door.
What do you mean met him there?
That was embarrassing. I was young. He was in the toilet. I was young. That was really embarrassing. And I cannot seem to get that image out of my head.
The shock.
So I just had to, put myself together. Whenever there's a guest, calm down.
What about you, Clarice?
My experience was I went visiting my aunt who just got married, and I could not sleep because the husband snored the whole night.
I can imagine. You know, the
was
kind that
like-
looks like a drum?
I had to stay for like 3 days, but I had to go after 1.5 days because I was thinking of my sleepless nights. I said, how is she coping? Because the snoring was so loud that I thought he was lying beside me. It's horrible.
Clarice!
So seriously.
Do you have any experience like that, STORY-WANDA?
Yes, mine was actually a good one. First, I was sent to teach in the classroom. When I entered, the first question the child asked me, please, why are you walking like that? I was so happy. My colleague had to hear the child. Why you ask the question? I said, no. So the child has the right to ask the question. I said, God made me to walk like that. He said, why am I not also walking like that? I said, no. God never wanted to walk like me, but wanted to walk the way you are walking. With the best of driver.
I love that you were open to explain to the child, because children are genuinely curious. They don't understand certain things, and we need teachers like you. Thank you so much, STORY-WANDA.
Welcome.
Maybe a final word to Cameroonians as we mark today's day dedicated to you.
Today is our day. As we celebrate, my final word is that as you hear my voice, as the Lord says, had it on your heart, please struggle. Even if you don't love somebody disabled by you, at least show that love that is your brother or sister. Like Mama Anna of Fast Faith is doing. Have a woman, please. Mama Anna is in Bamenda. It's a normal, very strong woman. But the woman has organized a sport for person with disability. As her life, they will say, Mama, give me 50, she will laugh. That's the life. So we need to live with a person with disability. Make that person happy. And when he's happy, he forgets about his or her disability.
What's the name of your wife, STORY-WANDA?
Genevieve.
Genevieve, you have an amazing husband, and good morning to you. Thank you so much for watching Cameroon Feeling. Until Thursday, stay cheerful. Bye.